Well, first, why me and not anybody from Germany? As most of you know, since 1988, I live in Germany, and I cooperate very nearly with the German Federation, and they asked me to make this presentation for today, and I hope it will be correct. I was calling with a lot of people to have details about it, and we will start. German Federation is one for the oldest one in Europe, founded in 1905, also 110 years ago. Most clubs in all the world. It's a number of clubs we heard yesterday, 7,621 clubs was registered last year. 708,850 members. It's an amazing result. But it's just in 9th place in the German Sport Federation. In comparison with France, France is the 3rd one. It's not a topic, but it's very, very good place. German Federation is responsible in all questions in wide equestrian sport. Education, riders, breeders, nature conservancy, Olympic and non-Olympic discipline, except horse racing and riding. Horse racing and riding have his own federation. The structure is very simple and very clear. We have national federation in a famous Warendorf. I think Warendorf is something like Rome for the Catholic or Mecca for Muslim. And they have state federation, 16 state federation for each state in Germany. And state federation have also district federation, and after it they have a clubs. Of course, it's necessary because so many clubs, it's not possible to manage in a one place. All riders must belong to the clubs. It's no exception. Just 3 members are able to run the club without stables, without any place for a training. And they need just one address, one president, one secretary, and anybody for finances. That's all. They have to have a statute, and it's practically without fees. They have to register in a community, and it's during 1 week, it's done. All clubs must have an assurance for his members, and it's made by State Sport Association. They are not assured in a federation, but in a state. And it is a very important point because the clubs are responsible for his members. And nobody have a law to ride without assurance. Licenses, rider licenses, have to be paid directly in Warendorf. It's very easy online system, go very quick, and will be registered directly in the Centra. Of course, we have a very good IT system, very good working, with really amazing technology. The license fee depends from the sport level of riders. It's very just somebody, he start, the children, they paid not a lot of fees, and anybody who want, he is in the great sport, pay, of course, much more. I give you some example I know very good. It's a state federation in Berlin-Brandenburg, because I live in Berlin. They have 16,000 members, but just 3,000 have a sport license. As you see, it's not so much in comparison for all members. And the other members are all the people, they want to be registered in Warendorf, in the center of German Federation, but they don't make the sport, they made a recreation, they have a horses just for fun, but everybody want to be a member of federation. Berlin-Brandenburg have 460 clubs, 119 horse breeders, just in Brandenburg, Berlin, and including, as I told before, recreation riding, personal members of horsemanship. It's also something special in Germany, because this exists also the people, they want to be member of a federation and support with his fees just a horse sport. And State Federation Berlin-Brandenburg have also 15 district federation. The first sentence here in Germany is promote, yes, but no sponsor. German Federation and Sport Federation in Germany, they want to promote, to support, but never sponsor. They give just a little bit money for the riders, for the trainers, to make some art of motivation to do it. We're supporting you. But nobody have 100% from financial issues. They are just promoted and supported. Each supporting comes not from the federation directly, but comes from state sport ministry or senate. It's also a dual system in Germany, the sport ministry and the senate, but any club can make a project, and this project will be accepted by a state federation, and after it go to ministry and senate, and they give some supporting for the trainings, for the trainers, for the investment in stables, in a footing, in a whatever. All competition riders pay also for a state federation €1 for each start. But if you imagine in one small regional competition in small village, they have up to 1,200 starts during 3 days. And it's very difficult to have in a plan of competition to have a free place in Berlin-Brandenburg to make a new competition, because all termines are busy. It's not a great sport. Sometimes I think in Berlin-Brandenburg we have just 6 or 7 great events in a year, but with small regional competition, regional activities make a lot of money for the federation. And clubs have to pay also the fee for each competition as event organizer. So the financial way go down for the riders, for the clubs, up to national federation through regional federation. This system is very easy, very clear, and give no doubts. Everybody know what is to pay, everybody know what is to do, and everybody are very, very disciplined. Well, it's a very great federation, but very easy to explain. Thank you for the invitation. Any questions? Mr. Szewczyk. A micro. Just a second.
Dziękuję. Panie Nemezjuszu, myśmy już na ten temat kiedyś rozmawiali i ja wiem, ale myślę, że tutaj dla pozostałych Państwa, że byłoby ta kwestia ciekawa. Mianowicie, czy ten problem, o którym tu koleżanka z Belgii wspomniała, że niektórzy ludzie się zaczynają buntować i prezentować taką postawę, że po co nam klub, skoro ja mogę zapłacić licencję bezpośrednio do federacji, a ubezpieczenie sobie sam kupić. Więc po diabłami klub, czy taka postawa, ona jakby narasta, nasila się, czy to jest jakiś problem dla niemieckiej federacji?
I translate a little bit. The question is still the same about peoples. They want not to have a club. They have an opportunity to buy himself, his assurance, and buy a license in national federation. As I told before, I think in Germany nobody think about it because it's a rule, and the rule will be done, and it's very easy. I have also had this discussion with General Secretary of German Federation, with Zenke, Lauterbach, and he said me, Nemo told me why we should to do it. Why? It's so easy to belong to any club, and we have control. It's a club, of course. Very often it's not really a club. It's just on the paper. But they have some more advantage because this assurance in a sport federation is very cheap and very, very good. And in another way, the club is responsible for the members. And they needn't control, do anybody have assurance or not? No judge checked it before. Because if you are registered in a national federation, you have assurance. There's no question. And this is a way to be sure everybody are assured. Yep.
But I have a question about this assuration. You can also have an assuration when you have immediately an affiliation with the federation. Why you need this club? This is also a discussion. You mustn't have this club for this assuration. The club also, the federation can also give with his membership an assuration.
Of course, but it's a system. I think the sport federation for all sport have a special price or special conditions, and it's easier to do it directly from the sport federation because it's just not just the riders. included all the sportsmen. Of course, it's a lot of people that have more experience. But I don't know exactly. That exists, I think, 70 or 100 years, or perhaps not 100 years. Assurance is new, but I'm sure 50 years. And this system was done and worked good, and nobody think about it to change it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a real discussion about this membership club and membership, because you also said it's only a paper, this club. So what mean this club then for the athletes?
Yes,
that's the discussion for me.
It's very good question. It's very good question because it's a very great difference. Some clubs included really just 3 people were registered a club. Different, nothing. But in another one, they have stables, they have a footing place, where they had everything, have an industry there. And of course, the club's fee, it's much higher. Also for 3 people, they paid, I don't know, €5 in a year, and they have a club. That depends. They have nothing. If they go to make a training, they have to pay for the stable, they pay for the training, they paid to rent fences and all. But you are right, it's a system, but it's a system, it worked good. And, well, I told before, all the Germans are very disciplined. They have rules and they do it.
Maybe it's not the answer, but I think the reason why the club is so central, at least in my part of the world and most countries and most sports, you go to a competition, you don't represent yourself in a competition. You represent a club or a team. I never heard a football player going to a football match representing himself. He's playing for Liverpool, Everton, whatever. That's the same in riding. I compete for my riding club. You compete for your riding club. Then when it comes to international, you represent your country. So the whole base is that the license is to do with competition. And I don't know if it's in Belgium, but in Sweden, Denmark, Germany, I think you represent your riding club in competition. It's on the result list.
Yeah, and also we have a statistic, league statistic. We have this the same in Poland. The clubs, they have very good work with the young riders, with children. They are supported. They are supported from the state because you have something good for the development of the sport, and we have something also for you, and that is in the club structure.
In Belgium, it's not like this. Even on the start list, there is no the club is not written. So you present it yourself. Not they are in the lotto. No. Maybe this is a good point to work. That's why the club will be more important in Belgium.
I asked a lot of very often in the discussion and also in the state federation Berlin to have the opportunity to make it free, but in German it's another way. They also the people they have buy a horse, a pony for a child, not for the sport. Just in a stable, they made a little bit, but they are proud to be a member of national federation and pay, I don't know, perhaps €20 in a year and have a stamp, I am a member. And also the licenses and also recreation licenses. If you have, for example, license for rent a horse. You can go in Berlin, you can go in Munich, you can go in Frankfurt to the stable and you show I have a license of the federation. They rent you a horse because they trust you are able to ride. But this is also a dedication system.
Riding is a part of FEI, and Do you know why riding is not incorporated in German Federation? Reining, sorry, reining.
Reining.
Reining, yes.
Yes, because they belong to this American system. It's also in FEI. We have riding belong to FEI, but the lot of riders have his own organization who belong to this American, I don't know the name, and they belong to them. And then it's also in Poland. I tried personally to have we want to give money from Polish Federation to supporting running because we have in quarterfinal in Normandy, but nobody was interested in it. They told me we want not to give you our manager, because we cooperate with another organization. It's a choice. Well, I hope I don't bore you too much. Thank you.